Good evening. Thanks for looking in tonight. I'm Morella Porter. We're glad you stayed up to watch Fox 10 News after the World Series. An ominous sight at the beach, red flags flying, warning of dangerous rip currents. And the gray skies and flashes of lightning this morning could be a precursor of what's still ahead. Meteorologist Matt Barentine joins us now. Matt, you're keeping a close eye on something developing in the tropics. Still a lot of uncertainty, but what are we looking at right now?
Yeah, it got its number today. This is Tropical Depression number 28. It has been developing here this evening, starting to get its act together. It is going to be headed up to the northern Gulf Coast. So it's something that we're going to have to deal with as it moves our way. Right now, though, it's not moving. It's stationary. And this is going to be kind of weird. It's going to be not moving a whole lot for the next day or so. And then it's just going to accelerate and start moving really quickly as it gets picked up by a front. So it's got winds of 35 miles per hour right now. It's once again a tropical depression at this point, but not too far from becoming a tropical storm. It will become Zeta. And the Hurricane Center even has becoming a Category 1 hurricane once it moves into the southern Gulf. But then it starts moving really quickly, getting picked up by a cold front and then making its way up towards the northern Gulf Coast sometime on Wednesday. And you can see we are in that cone on the right-hand side of it. All right, so I'm going to show you the American Mile, the GFS, stopping here Tuesday early morning, Tuesday around lunchtime. Keep making this move on. That's Wednesday. Now look at that. See the blues and the pinks? That's the cold front. There's actual snow over there and a tropical system. So this is going to get drawn into this front that's coming along and then brought over into our area. We expect some heavy rains and likely some gusty winds as well, and a weakening system at this point. Tropical systems don't like to be drawn into a powerful cold front, so that's going to start to rip it apart like it's taffy. So that's going to be happening there on Wednesday as it makes landfall, but we're still going to get a lot of rain out one way or the other. Then by Thursday, things will be improving very quickly as a cool front moves in behind it. Now tomorrow is Sunday, and we are dealing with none of that just yet. So we wake up, things will start out pretty nice in the low 60s. We'll get into the upper 70s in the afternoon. Tomorrow is going to be a good day. But I'll explain more about the possibilities with Zeta coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. Now would be a great time to download the free Fox 10 News app. You'll get breaking news and weather push notifications so you can stay informed anytime tropical weather comes this way. Just scan the QR code on your screen or search for Fox 10 News in your device's app store. And new information tonight from the Navy about a tragic crash involving a training plane that went down in a Foley neighborhood yesterday afternoon. The two-person aircrew did not survive. The Navy says they were an instructor and student pilot.
Said an airplane crashed in the house.
More than 24 hours after a Navy training plane went down in a Foley neighborhood, killing the two people aboard, the investigation into what led up to the crash continues. Yellow tape blocking off the crash site this afternoon as investigators comb through the scene. Neighbors like Daryl and Debbie Fontenot still shaken. The plane going down just behind their home.
We heard what sounded like a jet, a plane, something coming down, and then there was the sound of the contact that it made. An explosion. And there was a shudder in the ground.
It shook our house.
The turboprop plane, similar to the one in this picture, was on a routine training flight and took off from Whiting Field in Milton. Something going terribly wrong. The aircraft plunging to the ground, striking a home in a heavily populated neighborhood around 4:30 in the afternoon.
Then we started hearing the explosions of either gas tanks or whatever else. So that's when we had gone outside and saw the first amount of sparks, the smoke, people running out of the house.
The home and two vehicles catching fire. Firefighters and police rushing to the scene. Thankfully, no one on the ground was hurt. But an already devastating situation made even more heartbreaking by the thought of the families who have lost their loved ones.
I can remember being the Navy wife and him being gone and being alone, and so this just breaks my heart.
And the Navy has said they will not identify the instructor and student killed until 24 hours after their families have been notified. They're asking anyone with pictures, videos, even if you find debris from the aircraft, to give them a call, and you can go to our website to learn more. Well, Mobile police helping people get rid of their unwanted or expired prescription drugs today. It's all a part of National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. Anyone with unused medicine could drop it off at MPD headquarters on Government today. No questions asked. Rates of prescription drug use in this country are alarmingly high, according to the Department of Justice. They say abused drugs are obtained by family and friends, including the home medicine cabinet. And long lines for people trying to vote early. Everybody masked up as they try to avoid the even bigger crowds expected a week from Tuesday on Election Day. Today is the last Saturday for early in-person voting in Mobile County. They've been open the last 3 Saturdays to keep up with an influx of voters. The deadline to request an absentee ballot is Thursday. You only have a few more days to get your absentee ballots in the mail if you want them to be counted. Our Shelby Myers explains how to do it.
If you're voting absentee, there are a couple of steps that go into it, and we want to make sure you're doing it correctly. After you filled out your ballot, you're going to take this secrecy envelope and you're going to stick it inside of this and then seal it up. Once you do that, there's another envelope. You're going to stick it inside of this. Now, once you've sealed this second envelope, you're going to make sure that you check this second square right here, and that's meaning that you're voting absentee because of COVID-19. After you do that, you make sure that you sign this form, and then you have to get 2 witnesses to also sign that they know who you are. And if you can't get 2 witnesses, you have to get this notarized. Once you do that, seal it up. There's a third and final envelope that you stick it into, and then you seal this up and you're going to send this off in the mail, and it requires 3 stamps, or you can take it to your local absentee election manager's office and turn it in there. Then you're all done. You've cast your ballot.
Both President Trump and former VP Joe Biden are back on the campaign trail. The president stopping in Pensacola last night for a rally. He spent the day today touring across the country. While in Florida, President Trump said winning the Sunshine State would be a huge victory if he is to win re-election. The swing state has been on the winning side of the presidential election each of the last 5 times. People showing up to last night's rally were on their feet from start to finish.
This election is a choice between a Trump super recovery and a Biden super depression, because that's what you're going to have.
With 10 days to go before the election, President Trump is stepping up his in-person campaigning. He's got multiple events planned throughout the weekend. The president's Democratic opponent, former VP Joe Biden, also back out on the campaign trail today. He spent the day visiting Pennsylvania, another swing state that could be big in deciding the election. It's Joe Biden's home state, and he knows just how important Pennsylvania will be.
Around here, though, as you've all figured out, I'm known as Jill Biden's husband, and I'm proud of it. She grew up 25 miles from here in Willow Grove, and she and I are here today because it's go time, folks. As my coach at Delaware would say, it's go time, it's game day. We have 10 days left, and it may come down to Pennsylvania.
And no more debates left between the 2 candidates. It all comes down to next Tuesday's decision by you, the voters.